The NCDC is very strong tier 2 hockey. Now at the tier 3 level, there is some astronomical differences between the top teams and the bottom teams. There should not be scores of 37-1, 12-0, 14-2. These should not be happening in junior hockey. Today we're going to be talking about the USPHL, one of the largest hockey sanctities in the United States. Welcome back everybody to another AHA video. This is a hot topic. I can't tell you how many DMs we get about the USPHL, whether it's minor hockey or junior hockey. We're gonna get into it just for you. This video was filmed before April 22nd when the new expansion news was released. Teams relocating and team expansions. There's a new commissioner in place as well, who has now changed the league message from targeted growth to now inwards into player development and bringing them to the next level. He really wants to change the way USPHL is looked at, the way it works internally, to prioritize player development. It does show some exciting news moving forward, and let's see what he does to make these changes. And let's see what he brings forth in terms of changes to help the league develop. There is 11 new changes that just happened today in the USPHL. The Columbia Infantry have been sold and will be relocated. The Buffalo Stampede have been sold and will be relocated. The former Las Vegas Thunderbirds are now changing to the Henderson Force. Battle Creek Colonels are moving from the Midwest East Division to the Great Lakes Division. The Roughnecks are relocating to Utah. Twin City Thunder NCDC are now adding a premier team. Westchester Wolves, a new NCDC team, will also have a premier team. Mercer Chiefs will also be adding a premier team. The Bremerton Sockeyes will be adding a premier team. The Colorado Fighting Elk will be a new premier team. And the South Shore Kings will be creating an elite team next season. These are many huge changes in the league. We will see what it brings forth in the coming season. Since we're on the subject of hockey and how we could help, the link down below will help you set up a consultation with us, absolutely free, so we can answer all your questions and maybe help you get to the next level. Let me make a little clarification. Tier 4 does not exist. We use the term Tier 4 because there's a huge difference between USP Premier and USP Elite. It should be considered a separate tier below because there is that gap in talent. So Tier 4 is not an actually used term. It's what we use to describe the big gap between Tier 3 hockey and whatever's below that. So what is the USPHL? The United States Premier Hockey League is the USPHL. The USPHL was founded in 2012 and ranges from ages 6 to 21. Now, they mainly have players Bantam Midget and then junior hockey. Today, we're most specifically going to talk about junior hockey, kind of what can be fixed to make it a much more competitive league. The USPHL has 3 divisions of junior hockey: NCDC, USP Premier, and USP Elite. They then have midget hockey. Geographically, this league spans across 24 states in the United States: North, South, Midwest, and West Coast. It takes up a large part of the United States, and it provides many players a chance to play at the next level. The USPHL has 3 junior divisions, like I previously mentioned. The NCDC is considered Tier 2. It's free to play, all you pay for is your billet, and is very strong hockey, very high caliber players. USP Premier is Tier 3, and USP Elite is Tier 4. Now, at the USP Premier level, they do a lot of things very well. However, there is some things that could be improved to make the league that much stronger. The main focus of the USPHL Premier and Elite, Tier 3, Tier 4, is player development. It's getting them to that next level. Entry level into junior hockey, adapt to the different style of play, to move up to Tier 2 and potentially college. For the older players playing in this league, it gives them a chance to look at collegiate hockey. If you're a super strong player, it's Division 3. If you're an average, mediocre, or below average, it's ACHA level. But at the end of the day, the goal, the function, the mission, the vision of this league is to develop players and promote them to the collegiate level, to give them an opportunity to obtain a collegiate hockey opportunity. And over the years, they've done a great job of this. They've sent over 5,000 players to college hockey, whether that's ACHA or NCAA, since the beginning of their league. Now let's go into the nitty gritty. Like I mentioned, the NCDC is very strong Tier 2 hockey. It is a very strong caliber and difficult to get into, and many players need a gap year, a Tier 3 level year to move up to Tier 2. Now at the Tier 3 level, there is some astronomical differences between the top teams and the bottom teams. Certain teams have 3 wins this season. Certain teams have lost 37-1. Now, obviously, that's not a hockey score. That's not typical. But the reason being is there is certain parts of the league that should be changed. USP Premier currently has 60 teams in that tier 3 category. Now, 60 teams in that tier 3 category with an expansion of 5 teams coming next season. So they're going to be growing to 65 teams. Now, it's all nice and dandy that they're providing many hockey players a chance to play junior hockey. Most players are not excited by the opportunity of playing tier 3 hockey. Even if it is very good junior hockey, it's a chance to continue playing and pursue the college dream. However, it is a bit watered down. There is 60 teams in this league. They could make it a much more competitive league if they dropped to 40 teams. The best players of each team would move on to other teams and provide stronger programs, and those that shouldn't be in the league or aren't ready for tier 3 and need tier 4 would be sent down to tier 4. Tier 3 hockey is still strong hockey. It is still filled with many AAA players, and it should not be watered down. There should not be scores of 37-1, 12-0, 14-2. These should not be happening in junior hockey. Not with the caliber of players that are out there. So one of the issues is the amount of teams they have. Because there's that many rosters and they have spots to fill, they take in an influx of players that unfortunately may not be ready for that opportunity. And they come in, get a chance to play, and those kind of scores happen. In how many junior games, how many leagues do you often see players averaging 4 points a game? They should be too strong for that league. But then when you look at the games, it's only 4 points against certain programs. Kind of explains what's going on. The next big thing that often people say is a problem with the USPHL, or they often have issues with, is these roster sizes are huge. Teams are carrying 4, 5, 6, 7 goalies, 12, 13, 14 defensemen, 15 to 20 forwards. The roster sizes are huge. If the league were to implement a roster cap, you have 24 players on your roster. If roster sizes were 24 players, 24 active players, which means you can have 5 or 6 guys that are only allowed to practice, not allowed to play games, that would make the league that much more competitive. It would make sense paying the price it costs to play tier 3 hockey. Tier 3 hockey is not given. It's very expensive. Some programs are $8,000 a year. Some programs are $14,000 a year. And this is without the added cost of billet, of sticks, of gear, of all that stuff. So there is a variety of prices as well, depending on the program you're looking at. But if you're capping it at 24 players, at least you know you're getting a fair opportunity to play hockey. And that allows the team to have scratch players in the stands and not an excess number of reserves, because they have a lower level program. They have a tier 4. Those players that aren't ready for tier 3, send them to tier 4 to play hockey, to play games, to get a fair opportunity. Because when you have 6, 7 goalies on a roster and they're splitting time, they're going to play what, 5, maybe 6 games in the season? How do you develop? How do you get better? How do you gain access to the collegiate exposure that you need? As a defenseman, you're playing 5 minutes a night every 4 nights, because there's that many defensemen on the roster. It's difficult to get your name out there. It's difficult to develop. So if you're not ready, go back to AAA. If you're under 18, if you're over 18, go play tier 4. Take a gap year, work your way up. If they had first a limited amount of teams and now they had a cap size in their rosters and they only had 24 active players and the rest had to be sent down, well, now these teams would be much more competitive because only the best players would be up and not everybody. When you're playing junior hockey, there's a nice experience that comes with it, right? There really is. There's a whole way of life, mentality, whatever you want to call it, right? If you're in a small town, you're the big fish. People love coming and watch you play. The town gets excited to come watch you play. There's 300 to 600 people at a game, sometimes more than that. You got a gym at the rink. You got an off-ice coach. You got a skilled coach. You practice 4 or 5 days a week. These are great programs to play for. Unfortunately, there's other programs that get 10 to 15 people a game. You don't get the junior experience. They don't have the full development that you need. They don't have skill coaches that come once a week. They don't even provide you a gym. Here's a gym membership to the local YMCA. You got to go train yourself. If the league did a better job at vetting these programs and making sure that there's proper systems were in place, and I understand it takes a while to grow a following. It takes 2 years, 3 years. But when you're on year 6, 7, and things haven't changed, then something can be done. That being said, better programs attracts better players. Better players means better hockey, better development, better promotion to the next level, better analytics, statistics, whatever you want to call it. Overall, everything will move in the right direction, take a step forward. So if the league was able to manage these programs and do a better dive into making sure that they are the right fit for their league and giving the right opportunities for players, it would also make the USPHL Premier that much stronger, that much more appealing to players coming out of minor hockey. Now, the USPHL does a lot of good things. Their main thing is development. There is a lot of strong programs out there that take incredible care of the players. off ice, on the ice, academically, providing them with the experience they hope for, because not everybody plays college hockey. So when you're done at 20 years old and unfortunately you weren't chosen for college, you still had a great time playing juniors. You still developed into a great human being, a great man. And the skills you learned playing junior hockey, you're able to use in your everyday life. And they do a great job of that. They are a little bit oversaturated. They could be a little stronger. At the end of the day, the whole point of playing juniors is not just to play hockey. It's to move on to university, to pros, depending on the level you're playing at. When you're playing tier 3, tier 4, you're trying to move up a tier. You're trying to move to tier 2, or you're trying to get an ACHA opportunity. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need to be properly developed to get there. And many programs, not all, many programs do a wonderful job at that. They take care of their players as if they were their own family, and they really bring that family lifestyle, family community, family treatment into their organization, and that's wonderful. The USPHL Premier is a good spot to go start your junior career. If you're not ready to play tier 2, you're not going to be a consistent in the lineup, you're not going to get many minutes, go play tier 3. Go develop, go get the ice time. Who knows what will happen at the end of that season. If this video is something that interests you guys, please don't hesitate to click on one of these two. They'll give you just as much information on what you're looking for and how to properly help your kid in this hockey world. Thank you guys for watching another AHA video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.